Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are playing Overlord Age, which obviously stands for humorous, in case you were not aware of that. We are in the city of Erantel right now, because we have a visitor from the Minotaur Kingdom, the King of Minotaurs. After 3 days I head to Erantel in order to meet the King of the Great Minotaur Nation. I said kingdom, didn't I? Well, whatever. It should not be too long before he arrives. He did not specify an exact time, but it would be pretty rude if I did not personally greet him on his arrival. After a few minutes I begin to hear a weird drumming sound. It almost sounds identical to the one I marched to in the Lizardman village a long time ago. It's been a moment, yeah. This sound. It is coming from the outside city. I follow the drumming sound until I find its source. A lot of Minotaurs, probably all the tourists whom had come here previously, are bowing down while some others are playing the drums. Oh. He's also an adventurer? Or more like, is he in Adventure Guild for some reason, despite being the king? Given that he has that freaking necklace? We had one as Mumon as well. With no guards, what seems to be the king is slowly walking between the two rows of Minotaurs. That might show either confidence or trust, perhaps both. Of course, I may seem devoid of any guards as well, but that could not be further from the truth. I'm always being watched from the shadows when outside the great tomb of Nazarick, for the better or for the worse. I cannot exclude it. It's not the same for the Minotaur king as well. I head for him by the entrance of the city, and soon enough we are face to face.
Greetings, Sorcerer King. I'm Zumanuk, Sageheart, the king of the great Minotaur nation.
I mean, it's Minotaurs. That already does not make you great, but whatever.
It's a pleasure to finally meet in person. Thanks for having me.
He extends his hand towards me.
Oh, it is our way to greet people, an old custom of our kingdom.
Of course, it has been such a long time since I greeted someone this way. Even though there have been players in other countries as well, I would assume that such customs would have been adapted there as well. Unless more of the people I met so far dare to greet me with a handshake, it is not informal, but it requires physical contact. I stare the hand extended before me.
Is there a problem?
Physical contact with me could be harmful. Undead like me possess many passive abilities that can damage the living. However, if you would excuse me, I take a glove from my inventory and wear it. I would not mind greeting you. We handshake.
Tick tick. I see. I was no aware of such a thing. I thank you for being so thoughtful. There are many things we can learn about one another.
I agree. I'm Ice Ugon. I'm happy to have you here. I hope you had a good journey. The throne room is not too far from here. I will have some fresh beverages ready for you.
Throne room? I was coming for a more informal meeting.
Huh?
We are both kings, but we are not just that. I would really enjoy taking a walk and visiting this city while we talk. I have heard many good things. Perhaps you could suggest me the best spot in the city to have that fresh beverage instead. We can leave the formality to a later date.
The request seems a little odd, but I have never been one for more formalities either. Perhaps I'm not alone in this. I see. No harm in that.
Lead the way, please. I'm really excited to see the city.
We make small talk while we walk around the city, but for the most part it's about the city and how good it looks. Hell yeah, it does. Jesus Christ, that's a huge glass, by the way. It almost seems like cheap and unfilled praise, but has a genuine look of surprise. Especially when I show him the runecrafts, which makes me happy.
I never saw this many humans in their natural habitat. It is really an amazing sight. Normally I would wonder why, but I saw the undead working the fields while coming here. Truly a clever use of magic. They surely perform better than humans or any other living creature.
That is so. Both the undead and the runecrafts are for sale. To the allies of the Sorcerer Kingdom, of course.
Business talk. After such a tasty and refreshing drink, I can do that. As mentioned earlier, before we make anything formal, I would like to become acquaintances. After all, I'm sure you don't know much about my nation, nor do I know much about your kingdom.
Indeed. I only know the facts that everybody else does. such as human slavery, which I assume is not very well seen by the human nations.
Oh, on the contrary. We have a pretty stable relationship with pretty much anybody except the Beastman country. Those barbarians. Well, they are no longer a problem now, for I owe you for that. He sips his second glass of orange juice. Ah, it is the reason why I came here. Other than sightseeing your country, of course. You want to build a good relationship with us, huh? Of course. That is why I thought I would step forward first. I saw our kingdom grow to an empire, with many vassal states in an unprecedented speed. Truly an amazing feat. However, with an empire of such scale, your expenses must be quite significant. Expenses, I mean. I believe I can help with that. What, you wish to become a vassal state of mine as well, or something? No, in fact, if I had to be honest, it is exactly what I would like to avoid. Oh? I mean, no disrespect, of course. However, our nation's value is the lack of any enemy or ally. We have been fully independent since our conception, and we would like to stay this way. I'm not afraid to admit we would be powerless against your forces if we decide to otherwise, but as a vassal state we would completely lose our value. We would just be another expense. I believe we can find a better deal, one that suits us the best. Let's talk at length about it until we find a good deal, and then we can make it formal. He takes another step, waiting for my answer. I'm curious to know why you would lose any potential value by becoming my vassal state first and foremost. Of course! It all goes back to our nation's founding. The Minotaur Sage, as he came to be known, founded our nation through his sheer genius. People thought he had gone mad until his inventions changed the world as we know it. Human nations only know him because of this, his eccentricity. They can be quite narrow-minded like that, especially since they use many of our inventions to this day. Like? However, he was a really wise individual. He left us with a lot of wisdom, which helps us to this day. We live by his creed. We are inventors and merchants. We invent what we believe people need, and we market it until they believe it as well. That's because we seek no territorial conquest. We do not care about such raw power. The only power we believe in is money. Okay, respect for that. Kind of. We of course to gain as much market as possible, we must stay neutral and all our consumers understand this much. In a war we will sell both weapons and armors and not necessarily to the same country. That sounds far from ideal. If someone sold equipment to my enemies, I would not think twice about slaughtering them. The arena freezes. My eyes stare deeply into the Minotaur's king face as he sips from his almost empty glass of orange juice. It does not take too long to notice that his constant sipping might be just a way to keep his cool while thinking thoroughly about his next response. Yeah, I believe that would be the first thought for any lawyer in that situation. However, in our neutrality, we are pretty honest and straightforward with our intentions, which is really rare these days. We have a pretty long history to show for that. If we treat everyone equally, there is no tactical advantage in splitting truth because of us. Well, that would not be a problem for an empire of your size, assuming someone would be foolish enough to wage war, then again. In that case, it would also mean that my stress would not affect their chance of winning either, which means we would both get something out of it. I kinda don't trust them. That would depend on them and the situation. Indeed. In most scenarios, wars are agreed between two or more countries as they look to expand their power. In others, there are countries like the Beastman country which only saw troubles. We never traded with them because they were nothing more than wild animals. However, we are always open to dialogue. We can always find a good deal, should any special scenario occur. Well, what is your proposal for the present then? We would like to become your tributary state. We will pay any amount to keep our independence. We can formally decide on the amount on a later date. Moreover, as I've mentioned before, we owe you for helping us with our uncivilized neighbor, the Beastman country. Would 1,000 platinum coins suffice as a reward? 1,000 platinum coins? I get another reason to slay them, so that reward is more than sufficient. I'm glad to hear that. It is another matter to be settled formally later then. Seems like they are quite a rich country then. With that reward alone, a lot of my monetary problems are finally solved. If I can agree to a proper monthly tribute, that should keep my kingdom economically stable for the foreseeable future. I assume we are done now? There is another matter I would like to discuss, especially after seeing them by person. Runecrafts. They are truly special, they must sell a lot.
Haha.
As I mentioned before, we would lose our value by becoming your vassal state. However, once we become your tributary state instead, we could help you sell those runecrafts to the whole world. The nations in the east, the islands, even the far south. We have trade dealings with everybody, and I can sell as many as you desire for almost any price. In fact, I believe we could sell each piece beyond the current market value. We would only take the 20%, but you would gain much more money than you would ever do by selling them in your kingdom alone. Not to mention people would start talking about them. The basically free advertisement would surely bring many eager merchants by your doorsteps.
That is an interesting and quite attractive proposal. At this point, I can only say that I will be considering all you have said. In the next few days, you will be contacted and we'll discuss each proposal formally before coming with an answer.
That is all I could have hoped for. Thanks for hearing me out. I'll take another walk now and enjoy the sights of the city offers. Can you suggest me a good inn to pass the night while I wait for the salmon?
The Shining Golden Pavilion is probably the best choice. I can tell you where you can find it.
No need. Exploring and finding it by himself will be quite the adventure. See you later.
He extends his hand towards me once again, and we handshake one last time before we each go to our own way. Alright. More important matters. Head to the office again, okay? Seems like nothing else is happening around. Oh. Just in case. Let's go Pandora's Actor first. A whole day had passed since I met the Meteor King. I promised I would summon him and discuss the details of his various and interesting proposals, but I have other matters in my plate right now. On my plate. Two more people are in my office today. Zeshi and Pandora's Actor. Good morning. Zeshi, you were rather quick. Do you have anything interesting for me?
Of course.
Capable as she may be, was she not too quick in managing to steal something of the slain Theocracy's treasury? She takes out a weird looking crown. One that I swear I've seen before in the past, although it is not quite the same.
This is the Crown of Void. It was used by our Miko of Darkness. The wearer is capable of absorbing the memories of any intelligent target, even undead, including spells.
What?
Absorbing memories is a slow process, but the wearer should be able to choose what to absorb. Of course, absorbing the knowledge of casting a spell does not mean you will be able to cast it afterwards, not without the power to do so. This is hardly the downside of this item, for the real downside is that hardly anyone is capable of wearing it. Miko princesses are really rare in my country for this reason.
I wonder if Sayuri could wear this.
Nahahmer!
Copycat. With an extremely surprised face, at the point of being utterly execrated, he points towards Zeshi.
Huh?
What is the issue, Pandora's Actor?
I too had thought of the same thing, Gaitsama. By enhancing the crown of mental barriers with data crystals, we could expand its power and add an alternative effect. It would no longer just shield the mind from an attempt to extract information, but it would be possible to extract knowledge of an intelligent target with right spells. I do not know what data crystals are, but the item I've brought is ready to be used.
I've used that item in the past as more... I would like to avoid using data crystals with no guarantee it will work. While at face value the effects are quite similar, it might require way more crystals than I will be willing to spend. Especially with a ready alternative at my disposal. The only problem is that I cannot use that crown myself.
Then!
How would I know who might help me?
Ow!
That would add a third party and therefore new issues to tackle. Magic casters share their spells through scrolls or lending their spellbooks over someone as weak as the one I have in mind would not be able to scribe such a spell unless... I look back at Pandora's Actor. Does our treasury have an item to enhance knowledge? I mean, it can be something as specific as arcane knowledge.
Circlet of Vast Knowledge! That is the strongest item we have to boost one's knowledge.
That will do. It should not require too many data crystals to upgrade it further, and we can easily guess the effects it will have on each upgrade. If we enhance it to a point where even a beginner can scribe such a powerful spell, even if he does not make it on his first try, we can use both items.
will be right back to deposit the crown of mental barriers and bring the circle then. He takes the crown of mental barriers and uses his ring of ice will go and teleport to the treasury. My party's over then. I'll find something somewhere nice and comfy to wait for my reward. She caresses her belly while smiling in a pretty uncomfortable way. Seriously. After Pandora's actor brings the circle of vast knowledge, I spend the rest of an otherwise eventless day to enhance it to a suitable event for Nephirea. Nephirea, what? By the time I'm done, it is early evening. There is nothing I would like more than to retire to my chambers early, but I cannot do that just yet. As a ruler, I have many responsibilities. One of those is to deal with other countries in a timely manner. Well, the truth is that Demiruk just came back and Albedo is always free during this time as well. The Minotaur's King's deals sounded good to me, but I can always use a few extra mines, especially theirs. Somehow a few hours pass, way more than I would have anticipated. In just an evening, my kingdom had become richer than it ever was, and my runecrafts would soon spread all around the world, including my name. If I had the strength to do so, I would celebrate, but instead I head back to my chambers soon after wishing a good journey to the Minotaur King. And look who's here. God damn it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Seems like it's the only event as well. By the way, we are 800 days into this world. Alright, Zeshi. I could just lay down, I guess. Once I'm done with my task, I lead Zeshi to my chambers. I would normally never bring someone like her in my chambers. Instead, this place is my private sanctuary, a place where I can relax without having eyes constantly set on me. It has been so ever since I came to this world. However, exactly because it is the most private location in the Great Tomb of Nazarick, I can fulfill the promise I made with her. It is not as if I'm forced to keep my promise. I could have her locked up right now, and then I would never have to worry about her ever again. However, I've decided that I can fix her. The truth is, I do not really mind keeping such a promise. This much becomes quite obvious while she's right here, right now. She has a really nice figure. However, I can truly appreciate it only once I turn into my human form. She would not be so bad if only she was mute and not have such an annoying personality. What the thing to think? Let me ask you this. What do you hope to gain from this? No, let me rephrase the question. What do you hope to get afterwards? I need protection. No protection, obviously. Our future child might, at least at the beginning. And well, I can go back home after I stole from their treasury. It is kind of ironic, both the fragment of Quintia and I stole a similar item from the same place. Some might even call it fate. Besides, I might not get pregnant on the first try, so in order to get my reward, we should do this many times. I mean, we have clerics for that, but I get it. You'll be welcome to stay here as long as you respect the rules and address me properly. I understand. Ai-sama. She smiles. I would have preferred to have somebody inside the slain autocracy for a while longer, but this might not be so bad either. I'm ready to accept your gift. And now it's time to rest. I guess possibly with Zeshi by my side. Little cuddly, and well, she will fall asleep. I'll be staring at the freaking ceiling because I cannot sleep as an undead apparently. With the recent minor alteration to the plan, which now includes Nephirea, there are a few additional things I must consider before I will finally be able to get my hands on that spell. As I started stealing from my soul bed, I began to summarize everything in my mind and think about what comes next. Yggdrasil, the tree of life and core of this world, uses an arcane spell, which existence I did not know about until very recently, to teleport players every 100 years or so. I do not know if that is random or the spell is so expensive to require 100 years for the tree recharge. However, if I were to learn that spell and use the tree as a power source, I should be able to open up portals in a controlled environment and avoid unwelcome visits from other worlds. I have no idea how much mana it will consume, but I have to give it a shot while I'm still in time to afford making mistakes. time could have been an issue if I had to gain enough levels to have any hope to be able to learn a new spell of that power, but luckily Climb's Ring solved this problem. I'm level 105 now, but I cannot learn a spell that I know nothing about. At the very least, I need to learn its name, and I soon will, thanks to the nameless book of spells which will be soon in my hands. Oh, wait, they did not deliver it yet? They got it, but okay. I was hoping Pandora's Actor would find an item in the treasury that would allow me to absorb Yggdrasil's understanding of that spell so that I could use it as well, but there was nothing that convenient in there. Zeshi's item was close to what I was looking for, with 0 costs, except for the fact that I cannot use that item myself, so I have to involve a third party in this process, Firea, who I by now forgot about, but whatever. The Firea's talent allows him to be able to use any magic item in the world without any limits. Lucky bastard. This takes care of learning a spell, but Firea's level is way too low to be able to scribe a spell of such power. Luckily, Pandora's Actor had the right item to solve this issue, the Circle of Vast Knowledge. By itself, it would not be enough, but I spent a whole day to enhance it to a point where there is hope that he will be able to scribe the spell, even if he might fail a few times. Now, the Miruk is back, so his team should have learned enough about the tree. I'll hear about it tomorrow. There is an issue for. I do not need the Miruk to know that the materials he is harvesting are nowhere close to be able to scribe a spell of that power. However, much like brewing potions, there should be a way to overcome that limit. I will have to ask him tomorrow whether he can use parts of Yggdrasil to craft high quality scrolls or not. That is the closest thing I can think about that could work. Huh. Once that has been taken care of, everything should be ready. Firea learns a spell, scribes it on a scroll, and then I will learn it. I'm kind of excited now. As a magic caster, Momonga's tired and the body still manages to feel pure joy at the mere thought of learning such a powerful spell. So that is how Flutter must feel, huh? Never thought I would get to experience that again. The next day. Another day in the office. Wait. See the light of the tunnel. Okay. We should have like a hospital room or whatever. And visit Zeshi now to find out if, you know, if we were successful or not. Okay. No visits to Mare and so on. Seems like in the other places as well, nothing is happening really. What really in a way bothers me, nothing is happening, is Nazarick as well. I arrived at the office earlier than usual, knowing that the Miruk would already be there waiting for me. After spending so much time with them, guessing the reactions based on their personality become quite simple for me. Good morning, Demiruk. How'd the research go?
Hi, Sema.
He boasts. I sit behind the desk, looking forward to hear the news from Demiruk. This would be the day where I would finally learn more about the Yggdrasil and take another step towards my ultimate goal. I mean, hopefully.
The research. Not so great, I'm afraid. I believe if we were to open up portals to other worlds every day for hundreds of years, we could postpone the unavoidable disaster. However, incompletely taking control of Yggdrasil seems impossible.
Oh, is that so?
Surely if all the Supreme Ones... No, I'm sorry. It is our fault for not being more powerful.
But it's alright, Demiruk. We do still have time. And at the very least, it is a good thing in the short term. It is the biggest source of mana we own. We can use that.
Indeed.
Opening just a single portal, how long would it postpone the magic search for?
Oh, it is hard to tell without trying the spell at least once, but that tree holds an immense amount of mana. At the very least, I find it hard to believe that after a magic search, it requires hundreds of years to recharge. From what we've learned, it lacks control.
Oh?
It has the intelligence to cast arcane spells, that much is obvious, however. It does not have the mind to cast them with a purpose. It is like a ship without a crew. It can still sail, but the actions it will take will be repetitive and erratic.
That means it is in a sort of autopilot mode. If you look at the history of this world, this happened around 800 years ago. Question is, who was controlling the Yggdrasil then? Whoever it was, their power had to at least be equal to Yggdrasil, if not more. And yet there are no records of such an individual or group existing. Yet another mystery to add to the list.
Still, if using the most powerful spell in existence over and over would not be enough, how else am I supposed to stop Yggdrasil from teleporting other players or other beings?
Sama. May I know about what you plan on doing for the long term? I thought about it, but I have absolutely no idea. Just a hint would be enough.
What to do? I have no idea, man.
I have no idea how we would encounter something like this.
We cannot destroy it, and even if we could, that would probably be the end for this planet. And us. We cannot consume it either, because it is simply too powerful. And it seems like we cannot stabilize either. We do not have too many options left. Wait. We must wait. And, the hint is that it is not all about the magic surge.
Not about the magic surge.
Bounce will come in time, I hope.
Understood. I'll try my best to understand.
Is that all?
No, we've discovered other minor things.
The Miruk takes a small pouch and shows its contents.
Seeds of the World Tree. They used to be really rare and probably impossible to find in this new world. However, they seem to be quite common down there, so we have collected some. Other than the seeds, we have made a really important discovery, one that might lead to a new research.
Oh!
The leaves of Yggdrasil. Even by just consuming them, a magic caster will regenerate mana. Potions to regenerate mana. There has always been an impossible dream for many, but that could soon become a reality.
Now that is interesting. That is something I'd use myself.
Yes.
I have just the right person in mind for the research. He has made excellent progress with the healing potion. I guess that will be his next project then. I had other reasons to summon him. At this point they are just piling up. I suppose he will be the next person I will speak to. I'll instruct my team to stand ready to collect as many samples as needed. Thank you, Demiruk, but that will not be necessary. Since Firea will have to go there himself, he can collect the samples once he's done with the main task of scribing the spell. I believe that will require a special scroll, one made by the skin of the best living thing in existence. Yggdrasil itself. More than one, in fact. Firea might fail a few times before he manages to scribe the spell successfully. That cannot be helped. Gathering the skin of Yggdrasil will probably be impossible with normal tools, so bring the Razor's Edge. That weapon can cut through anything, even Yggdrasil itself, I hope.
Understood. I will have as many scrolls as possible ready by the time you reach Yggdrasil.
He bows and takes his leave. Once I'm alone, I contact Lupus Regina through my message skill. Lupus Regina!
Oh yes, Sama. Lupus Regina here.
What is Nfiria doing right now?
He's here. He's spending time with his wife. And not even in the home. You would never expect that from someone as plain as him. God damn it.
Huh? I see. I actually don't see, and I hope I won't. Once he's done and in an acceptable state to speak, do let him know that I require his presence.
Yes, sir. I'll contact Urine and ask her to escort him to the Great Dome of Azaric when I continue with my task.
Thank you, Lupus Regina. Can I confess to you, I know I failed previously, but I would like to get back to that topic. Damn it. I end the message skill and begin to wait for Firea. Hopefully he will not take too long. Well, where is he? Okay. Throne room. God. Sadly, nothing else is happening. It's true. Firea is like such a freaking plain character. Throne room. Only a few hours pass before I am let known, but Firea is waiting for me in the throne room. I head in there with haste. This is the last step before the spell be in my hands. Thank you for coming, Firea.
Yeah.
He bows, although his posture is quite rigid. No need to be nervous, Firea. I just need help with a few matters. Let me start from the beginning. I press to tell him everything regarding Yggdrasil and my final goal. That is all. To learn the spell will require talent. You will need to wear the Crown of Void to learn the spell from Yggdrasil. Then wear the circlet I've enhanced to be able to scribe it.
You might fail a few times, but that is an acceptable and expected loss, so do not fret about it. Ultimately, you should have success in describing the spell down, and that is where your task would normally end.
Does that mean there is more?
Indeed. I have another reason for summoning you. While researching Yggdrasil, we found something very interesting. Something that could keep entirely... God damn it. Something that could entirely revolutionize the magic world. As such, I would like to keep those products within a Great Tomb of Nazarick for the time being, once you will make them.
Me?
You see, a single leaf from the tree can restore some mana, but a competent individual like you could probably brew some powerful mana potions through some research and a lot of trial and errors.
Mana potions? Oh, such a name would be recognizable by every magic caster in the world, but no one would believe its existence, not even for a moment.
Exactly, until now. Of course, I would also like you if you kept all this story to yourself. Not that the average human could even reach Yggdrasil. Oh, that poses another problem.
I think I understand. What would the problem be?
The pressure under that depth could prove to be challenging, perhaps with a spell.
That will not be a problem. While I never tested it myself, I should be able to brew a few potions that can help with that. How long will I be staying underground? The best I can brew is an effect of 30 minutes.
Can you drink more than one?
Yes.
Then bring 20 just in case.
20?
Yes, is that a problem?
No, but that will take me a while.
Take your time as long as you will be prepared once we reach Yggdrasil. You will need to stay down there until the spell is scribed. That will be fast compared to how long I will take, since you will absorb its knowledge of Yggdrasil. However, the time required highly depends on our luck. Then you will have to gather as many leaves as you can for the remainder of time before you will have to go back. That is low priority as long as you have enough samples to begin your research and testing. We will replenish you with new samples every time we will run low on materials.
Yes. I'll start brewing the 20 potions while I'm home. Then I'll be ready to set off.
3 days pass. And one more before I finally have the scroll in my hands. Dude, finally Ain's looking good in one of the freaking CGs in this game. On this one looks absolutely great. I feel like a kid in a playground. The joy for a magic caster to learn a new spell is always there. Even your heart no longer beats. Especially for a spell of such power where not even level 100 was enough. Without even returning back home, I take one of my grimoire and start to scribe the new spell down, right then and there. Scribing such spell is not an easy procedure, nor a quick one, so Nfiria is led home while I keep myself busy. Interdimensional Gate is the name of the spell I am currently learning. Magic is typically divided into 10 tiers, but that is because no one in this new world has ever witnessed anything beyond it, not even in legends. Magic can change a whole continent or even the whole planet in is what classifies as 11th and 12th tier of magic, and that was my old limit. Interdimensional Gate. This is one of the spells that goes beyond what I could ever imagine, something that would have deemed as impossible only a few months back. A 13th tier spell, the only one I can cast, and not even with my own power. The possibilities with this spell are infinite. I could probably go even back to my own world if I was foolish. I have no idea how much time passes. If I was alive, there is no way I would be able to scribe and learn this spell within 2 days. Ooh. But as on that, I can know myself to never stop until I'm finally done. Only a few moments pass from my perspective, but I know a lot more time has passed by. I finally learned this spell. Normally I would waste no time to try it out, but this power, my whole mana is not enough to cast it even once. I poke the ring that Climb lent me. I've barely managed to learn it. Normally that would mean I meet the requirements to cast it at least once, but this kind of spells, they are meant to be used by multiple spellcasters. I eye Yggdrasil one last time before taking my leave. Luckily that is not an issue. Luckily that is not an issue. It was finally the day in which I would open my first portal to another world. The link should be established. While it will use up all my mana, the rest should be taken care of by Yggdrasil. That means I should be able to open the other portals as long as the link stays up. Yggdrasil is connected to the whole planet. This includes the Great Tomb of Nazarick. In some areas the effect is stronger, but with the right preparations you can establish a stronger, more stable link with it in order to use ritual magic when an individual's mana is simply not enough to cast some spells. Mare, are you in position?
Yes, Aisama.
I'm also keeping contact with Mare through my master skill. He's currently watching Yggdrasil. Once I open up a portal, he will be the one to tell how much of Yggdrasil's mana I have used up. I don't expect to use all of it, but if I can drain a good percentage and keep its mana pool under a certain threshold, we could avoid any future disaster, including the arrival of other players 100 years from now. I'm casting it now. Interdimensional gate. Upon casting it, I feel my mana completely draining up and then my consciousness fades away. I feel like I'm floating in a complete darkness until my vision focuses on a weird bubble, then another. They are solar systems of another universe. They look weird, different than the images I would see on the net in my old world, but there was no doubt in my mind that each of those bubbles were solar systems. I couldn't tell which is which or where. My presumption of being able to go back home if I wanted was surely wrong. It was not that easy. Just being able to cast a spell is not enough. It takes many uses before you can master certain spells and be able to use them properly. This is such a spell. Of course, in my case, it did not matter which planet from whose system or universe I chose, any would do. I focus on the current system in my field of vision, and with a lot of concentration I managed to spot a planet. It is blurry, and I can't tell any detail even if I normally should. I pick a random spot, and by extending my hand I tear a hole in the fabric of the universe, a gate between this world and the one I chose. Ah, done. I feel completely drained up now. It was not just the mana cost, but the casting time being long. From my perspective, only a few minutes had passed at most, but the casting actually took half an hour. I mean, that is a few minutes to be fair, 30. Half an hour of constantly keeping the concentration up in order to view whole solar systems and planets. It was no wonder that at the end of the planet was a blurry mess in your mind. Still, the spell was a success. A portal was opened just in front of you, and the next time would surely go better. Mare.
Nope. Not even a dent in Yggdrasil's mana pool.
I see. Yggdrasil's mana is way higher than I assumed.
Doesn't mean we failed. We cannot stop Yggdrasil.
Well... Before I can find an answer to Aura's question, Demiruk begins to laugh. Aura, do you think that this is the extent of Ainsama's plan?
Huh?
Hey? Demiruk looks at Albedo, which looks just as confused as the rest of us. It seems like I'm the only one that has finalized part of Ainsama's plan. Admit I had some difficulties at first. Shh. Already? Demiruk? Impressive. Thank you, Ainsama. I do not deserve your kind words, it was very obvious. No one could say it was only a natural progression of events. I'm ashamed by the fact that I didn't understand it sooner. Do not be so hard on yourself, Demiruk. I will allow you to explain what you have understood, and as a reward I will add any detail if you missed any. Thank you for granting me such an honor, Ainsama. He bows and then proceeds to look at everyone in the room. I shall begin to explain then. Opening up a portal to another world, it was never about depleting Yggdrasil's mana.
Hey, it was not?
It was not? Of course not. There was only cover to give the outsiders. The real plan is nothing more than an extension of what we've been already doing all these years. Demiruk raises his arms while showing a wide inhuman smile. As expected of Ainsama. The sky is full of stars. Why should we stop just a mere dot? Ainsama deserves all of them. Every single one of them. All the world shall know of Ainsama's might and learn from his immense wisdom.
Oh!
Shelter begins to clap her hands. Like... Wait, hold on the words. Is that a little too much even for us? Like...
But it's not all. Taking care of Underworld would be too much for us currently.
I mean, that's what I would say.
However, who better than Ainsama's own blood take up on that quest and bring their father's name and with him our legacy? Hey, what is it, Ainsama?
I'm really surprised, but especially satisfied by you, Demirug. You've totally understood my plan. Well done.
Fuck. Thank you for your words, Ainsama, but I know I'm still lacking something.
Huh?
I still don't understand how we are going to stop Yggdrasil. It seems impossible.
He bows.
I hope I've earned the honor to be blessed by your knowledge.
Yggdrasil. Indeed. Yggdrasil. That is meaningless.
Hey?
That is so. We have still a lot of time left in my big scale of plans. It gets very low priority right now. Completely meaningless. Not even worth a thought. Time will fix it.
Time.
Time.
Understood.
Dude, I need to rest now. How long is that portal going to stay up? Goddammit, I cannot just leave it here, can I? Momonga waits an hour before the portal fades away, and then he retires to his chambers for the day to rest. She winged it like crazy. New worlds, huh? I'd always assumed there were other worlds besides this one. It was an obvious conclusion. However, I never thought I would ever gain the power to travel between them. I roll around a bit while I'm lost in thought. I hope that by trying my best to relax, I will be hit with a good idea. Of course, that does not happen, and yet I keep trying. Conquering new worlds. I'd not even conquer this one yet. Of course, there is no way I could handle a new one. There is no doubt I would enjoy exploring them and perhaps learn new magic. But anything remotely political would be a big headache. There is no way I want to do that. I suppose that if I fail to discover a way to stop Yggdrasil, I could say that it doesn't matter because we are done with this world and we are meant to go elsewhere. But wait, can I even do that? The problem is that case with the chance a power source like Yggdrasil does not exist. Yeah, and therefore no way for me to use the spell once again. I would be stuck in that world for good. That would be even more risky, all things considered. Not to mention that coming to such an easy conclusion would have been really simple for Demirug if it was a viable idea. I cannot suggest this. I would disappoint him for sure this time. No. I had to think something special. Something that would escape Demirug's mind's grasp. So far my luck was enough, but this problem might be just too big to have a solution. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I cannot put dent on its mana. I cannot control it, and destroying it would be a bad idea, even if I was capable to. I do not have many other options left, do I? I keep rolling around the bed and think of a solution for the whole night, but to no avail. Well, we'll go to the office in the next episode! For now, we'll end it. I guess we've achieved quite a lot. Nothing new has happened over here. And we'll see tomorrow where this is all going. If we are going to go and try to, you know, spread our conquest to other universes or not. I'm kinda curious if that is what is happening in Overlord in general later on as well. I need to read light novel or something. Anywho, let's end for today. We'll continue tomorrow, of course. Hope you enjoyed. Consider liking the video if you enjoyed. Of course, I'm gonna say that. I really don't like saying that formulas, but I have to, unfortunately. And if you're new around, subscribe. That would be super appreciated. I mean, I will appreciate that. I don't like saying, you know, Hey, subscribe. I don't like saying that, but yeah. What I like saying is I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye bye.